Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. As you can see, I'm back home. Yes, I could not stay in Mexico as much as I wanted to, but today we still gotta talk about Mexico because as you could see, I did stay a long time, so I stayed I think 3 months. I did a lot of vlogs, 5 or 6 vlogs, I kind of forgot. And there was so many things I wish people would have told me before, just so I have an idea. So let's jump right into it, because I'm not really good with intros. So let's go. First thing I want to talk about is really like everything you need to know. Well, basically this is what the video is about. But like, you understand. So first, high season, usually if you want to go with the best weather, it will be between November and February. I know not many people can travel by that time, but it is the best weather and the best time to go. In summer I heard that there will be a lot more rain and like hurricane and stuff like that, so if you can go between November and February, this is when you want to go. One thing, obviously, don't forget your passport. Everyone knows that, but I feel like I still have to say it. Also, check your visa. Mexico had a bunch of changes. For example, when I went, I am Canadian, so I thought I'd have 6 months of stay. And then I got there and they ask you how long are you gonna stay. First they ask you actually when is your flight return. I didn't have one, so I told them that I didn't have one. He was like, how long are you gonna stay? I said 3 months. And then he gave me a little small paper that you fulfill in the plane. He writes on it and then he writes a number. He wrote on mine 90 days, so my visa is not 6 months anymore, it's 3 months. And I heard some horrible stories about people that would overstay. A lot of people will tell you if you overstay, you only have to pay a small fine, like I think 50 bucks, and you'll be fine. You won't. Some people ended up in jail because it really depends on what kind of policeman you'll get with. Be careful with that. This is my first big tip and advice. Be sure that the guy in front of you would write the right amount of days, and you also write the right amount of days on the computer. And then another thing are the vaccinations that you need. Here's a little list. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so go see a doctor and ask him or her like which vaccine should you get for Mexico, but usually people get these. Main advice I have to give you. Do not trust the water. Don't trust the water. I've been sick 2 months out of 3 because I kept on brushing my teeth with the tap water. Don't trust the tap water. It will get you sick. You would not understand why. Even when you shower, just the water. Don't let it touch your mouth. Careful with the water. Now we're gonna talk about money. Money. Here's the currency that you have to know. Somewhere on the screen. But always have cash on you. Always have cash on you when you come to Mexico. Have cash on you when you change cities. Because we did go to one city, it was Puerto Escondido, and the place where we were staying did have only one ATM and they never had cash in it. So to grab cash, we would have to take a cab or a colectivo, whatever, do like 15 or 20 minutes drive to go to an ATM that works, take out our money and come back. So this city especially, like you want to have money, cash money, before you come to the city, just so you don't have like to do that travel all the time, you know. But there are some stores that of course allow you to pay with card. Usually it's the big stores like Walmart and stuff like that, the malls and the OXXO. OXXO are the convenience stores. What I'm gonna talk about next is the transport. How are you gonna move into Mexico? First, you gotta understand that taxis, when you first got there, it feels really cheap. It's usually around 70 peso, 100 peso, depending on how you're moving into the city. But compared to the buses, it's really expensive. Like it's 10 times more expensive. Usually, though, for buses and colectivos, depending on where you are in Mexico, you don't really have a stop like here in Canada or other places. So I suggest to talk to locals or just ask in the hotel or hostel that you're staying in and ask them, where can I get a colectivo? They'll show you where, and it's so easy to get. By the way, colectivos look like that. Don't get surprised. To rent a car or a scooter, for me and for some people, maybe for you too, it's pretty obvious. But do not rent it next to a bus station, to a ferry or to the airport. It's going to cost like 3 times more expensive than if you go like walk literally 5 minutes away. To rent a car, usually they do ask for your passport, depending on the city once again, but grab your passport, just be sure. Depending on which country you're from, I'm from Canada, so I didn't need an international passport, but you have to check to be sure. It's really cheap. Like I rented, depending on where you're going again, I rented a Jeep on Cozumel Island. It was 50 US. I rented a buggy on Isla Mujeres that was also 50 US for 24 hours. Scooters, depending on where you are, it's like around 12 US, 10 and 15 US for 24 hours. Which brings me to my next point, is how to travel from city to others. Mexico is a big country. Maybe it doesn't look like it on the map, but it is really huge. The main thing that I use to travel city from cities are the buses. Make sure to get a bus, I forgot how it's now, I think it's luxury. When you get the basic price, you could end up having no seat. Not for the really long travels, but like for the 30 to 1 hour, you could not have a seat. So make sure to pay that extra bucks because it is really worth it. For the plane, personally, the only time that I could take a plane was from Oaxaca to Cancun, and it went super well. But we had heard a lot of horrible stories that says, for example, that in Puerto Escondido, when you take the flight, they will be harsh with you. So be careful, read everything that you need to know about the flight, especially if you have extra luggage. Don't wait to go to the airport to pay the extra luggage, because there would be some people, of course, would be really harsh. One last thing about that, people driving there, it's not like in Canada. I won't say they're crazy, they have their ways, but as someone that walk, be careful, watch the road, and they will not let you pass. So just be careful with the cars. And now, my favorite part of that video, food. The food, everything you need to know. First, street food. It's amazing, of course, know where to go, ask locals. Amazing food, really, really cheap. Probably better food than in the restaurant, so try the street food. Usually in each city they have like maybe one little street where they have a lot of street food. Ask your hotel, ask your hostel, and they will let you know where it is. Really worth it. When you go to restaurants, usually you have to tip people, so you will tip them around 10% and 15%. If you don't tip, it's pretty rude. One last thing I want to talk about is the language. Most of the people do not speak English, but don't be rude, don't expect that the person doesn't speak English, try, and if the person doesn't, then you have to know some little sentences that will help you. So let me help you with that. So first of all, a bit of a language in a restaurant. La carta por favor means the menu please. La cuenta por favor means the bill please. This is all the sentences that I could think about. Here's some more that I might have forget. Maybe you want to take some notes. And now here are the numbers you need to know. Screenshot it, it's gonna be helpful for you. And I think this is pretty much everything you need to know before going to Mexico. Be careful, have fun, and yeah. Now, as you can see, I'm back in Canada. So don't worry, I'm still gonna continue my vlogs, but this time I'm gonna go more like in adventures. I'm gonna discover things that I've never tried, I'm gonna discover my city, and I'm gonna share with you all the changes that I want to make in my life. I really hope you're gonna still like my content, and I'll see you in the next video, I hope so. So peace out, I guess.